Hi children, I'm going to tell you all about a very, very famous sculpture today. Do you remember that word sculpture and what it means? It's not a painting or a picture or something you can hang on the wall, is it? A sculpture is something that's 3D, it's a fat thing. And this sculpture is one of the biggest sculptures in the whole world and one of the most famous sculptures. Shall we find out about it? So here is a picture of the sculpture. It's called the Statue of Liberty. I wonder whether you or your grown-ups have ever seen a picture of it before. Some people have actually visited it for real. So the sculpture was designed by a French man called Frederick Bartholdi, and he designed it and it was built in 1886, which is over 100 years ago. So the reason the sculpture was built was it was a gift from the people in France to the people of the United States of America, and it was to celebrate freedom and to welcome everyone into their country. So the Statue of Liberty was built in France, and then they broke her into pieces and put her in boxes onto ships and sailed her all the way to America. Fancy that. And then they had to rebuild her once she got to America. So it's a lady and she's got robes on, and she's actually based on the Roman goddess of freedom, which is why the French gifted her to America to celebrate their freedom. If you look closely, she holds a torch in one hand. Can you see the flame? And a tablet in the other. Now, if we look really carefully at the picture, we can see people down there. So you can actually get very, very close up to the Statue of Liberty. And in fact, you can climb inside the Statue of Liberty right up to where her crown is. And you can stand and look out of these viewing panels. There are 393 steps all the way up to the top. That's a lot of steps, children. I've got a close-up of the Statue of Liberty's face here. This was taken when she was first built, so over 100 years ago. And this is a French lady and a French boy. And you can see just quite how big just her face is when you compare it to a grown-up and a child. And remember, that was just this part of her. Look how tall she is. We were learning all about tall things and short things in maths last week, weren't we? I wonder, children, can you find out for me just how tall the Statue of Liberty is? I wonder whether you can find out some other information as well. I wonder, what is the sculpture made of? Sometimes sculptures are made from stone, sometimes they're made from wood. Can you find out what the Statue of Liberty is made of? And we know that the Statue of Liberty was shipped all the way to America, but whereabouts in America could I go and see the Statue of Liberty? Where does she live now? The last thing I wanted to show you, children, is my husband, Mr. Henderson's model of the Statue of Liberty. It's so famous that you can even make it out of Lego. Let's have a closer look. It says down here the Statue of Liberty. This is the plinth that it stands on. And look, there's her robe and her crown and her torch. She's holding her tablet. So you can even make the Statue of Liberty from Lego. It took him a very long time. So remember, have a go answering those questions and post them on Tapestry. Well done, children. See you soon.